हेलो एवरीवन, वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू। आज है 17 अक्टूबर 2022, दिन है मंडे और आज हम करने जा रहे हैं द इंडियन एक्सप्रेस के न्यूज एनालिसिस। चाइनीज कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी कांग्रेस बिगिन, Xi Jinping calls for faster growth of the PLA, say next 5 years crucial. For the third term as party chief, China President He will not be renounce possible use of force against Taiwan. Chinese leader Xi Jinping on Sunday called for faster military development and announcement no change in policy that have strained to relation with Western nation, Washington and tightening the ruling Communist Party control over society and the economy. China most influential figure in decade spoke as the party upon the Congress that has close watches by the companies, government and public for the sign of official direction. It comes to painful slump in world's second largest economy and tension with Washington and ASEAN neighborhood over trade, टेक्नोलॉजी एंड सिक्योरिटी। तो उसके रिलेटेड ये आर्टिकल देंगे। अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल्स पे। दिल्ली एक्साइज पॉलिसी केस, सीबीआई समन सोशल टुडे आप फियर अरेस्ट लिंक टू it to Gujarat 2 months after registration and FIR over the allegation of irregularity linked to Delhi excise policy. The CBI summoned Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodha to join investigation at 11 a.m. Monday on headquarters in Delhi, a move that was slammed by AF, which claimed he would be arrested by the agency and that the latest action was linked to Gujarat polls. अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल्स पे। मदर एम्बुलेंस बिल टू टावल, यूके विजिट टू दिल्ली एक्सप्रेशन, रेलवे पीएसयू चीफ गेट हिज ऑफिस टू पे आफ्टर प्रोब मिनिस्ट्री दाविश अमिताभ बनर्जी ऑफ आईआरएफसी चार्ज फेवलियर्स एलिगेशन इन वेदांता, ही से यूजिंग हाउस his home and a company guest house and funding personal household expense through the company, getting the exorbitant medical bill, other expenditure reviews, getting the company to pay long-term visa free for foreign travel on the personal passport for the period well after his retirement, misuse of official car। तो उसके रिलेटेड ये आर्टिकल दिए गए। In wake of the allegation of financial misconduct and misuse of the position, the Ministry of Railway Saturday stripped the Abhinav Banerjee his power of chairman of managing director of its PUC Indian Railway Finance Corporation। तो उसके रिलेटेड ये आर्टिकल दिया गया। अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल्स पे। डिजिटल बैंकिंग इज फर्दरिंग फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन, बैंक नाउ टू ड्रॉ of poor PM Modi argues small business owners in village to go complete digital, dedicating the 75 digital banking unit across the 75 district. The national Sunday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that DBUs will further the financial inclusion in taking banks to the doorstep of the poor. Rupee is performing better than other, not sliding. Dollar strengthening, says Sitaraman. Coal will be back, gas is becoming unfavorable, Finance Minister in USA. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said the rupees has not weakened, but it is the dollar that has strengthened and compared to the other country, the rupee has performed much better। तो उसके रिलेटेड आर्टिकल देंगे। Ukraine war, April-August Indian wheat export double of the last year. In the first 5 months of the financial year, April to August, Indian export double the quantity of the wheat compared to the same period of the 2021-2022 official data. So this is in spite of the slowing export of after the sudden ban announced by the government in mid-May. Hampi Khajuraho on the list for the G20 cultural track as part of the India's G20 presidency between the December 2022 to November 2023. The government is planning to host the 5 key meetings focusing on the cultural track, Khajuraho, Bhubaneswar, Hampi and Agra. Indian Express has learned to security article देंगे। First day, fast blow at T20 World Cup, Namibia triple the श्रीलंका। अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट पेज पे। जो एग्जाम प्रोस्पेक्टिव से इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल्स होंगे हम उनको डिस्कस करने की कोशिश करेंगे। India not will open to business but also the focus on working with Egypt, says जयशंकर। हमारे जो एक्सटर्नल मिनिस्टर जयशंकर है वो इजिप्ट के दौरे पे, उन्होंने कहा है कि India is not only open to business but also focused on working with Egypt to see what is the two countries can make through their the cooperation in regional and the global level. अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल्स पे। नेक्स्ट पेज जो एडिटोरियल की है, grain of truth. Unseasonal rain and depleting the stock are the problem, but the real inflation can be managed. The retail inflation at the over 11.5% on the year on September, its highest seen to end of the 2013. This is even the total stock of wheat and rice is government go down have depleted to 5-year below. Such scenario as unimaginable and the started to the of the year when the same warehouse were overflowing in 2021-2022. Not only the unprecedented 105.6 million tons metric tons gain got changed lanes through the public distribution system, the country also expect to record 28.4 metric ton, and two crucial in the debate until quite recently was on the how to achieve both coping and delivering diversity, waving the way of farmer for the paddy and wheat and sugarcane, the ensuring that the poor had to greater access to food rich in potential vitamins, mineral and fabric than just to carbohydrate and calories. A public policy focus whether the had it to do with the now repealed farmer reform law and expansion of minimum support price MSP watch which make to agriculture market led and source of efficient and environmental sustainable. तो उसके related ये article है climate of uncertainty, food inflation due to unseasonal rain and violate the energy demand have complicated to RBI challenges. The climate change are altering the weather patterns and directly impact of 55% of the country's inflation basket. There is an implication in our income and the twins deficit too. All of this happening the right under the our nose, taking the current year, for example, the deliberating the heat wave in March and playing the ad hoc with the wheat crop and divesting the ban of the export and wheat price risen to 90%, and then the come to particular monsoon even though the season ended with the rain with or 6% above the normal for the country as whole. There was a larger regional and temporal variation, especially in the eastern India. Farmers try to adopt the scrambling so much possible to cool it till the late season, and they did not end there. We also find the long-term seasonality pattern in food pricing changing, and looking at the last decade, food prices are achieved to rise gently each month between the April and October every year. Repeatedly study for the only last 3 years suggested that the rise in food price in April to October period is not uniform as before. Rather, it is a bunch of sharp increasing across the few months and making the food price changing more volatility. The new trend is most pronouncedly for the crucial price. अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल्स पे। मार्केट को रीजन ब्रिटिश पीएम कोर्स correct as mini budget proposal threaten to economic stability rise to question about the competence. Last week, after much speculation, UK Prime Minister Liz Truss fired her the Chancellor of Exclusion Kwasi Kwartengh will the revising the part of said policy that had caused the mention across British and global financial market. Kissingen mini budget was promised to new approach for a new era and focus on growth. He adopted two proclaimed approach based on the large tax cut and the high government spending. Investors, however, worry about the physical implication of this announcement. While the Khattage verifies the defense of proposal added to many inconvenience about the associated British economy, ultimately market forced to Prime Minister hand. अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल सोर्सिंग इंडियन साइबर स्पेस इंडिया मस्ट टेक स्टेप टू टैकल द न्यूएस्ट थ्रेट इन सेक्टर फ्रॉम द क्वांटम टेक्निक्स लास्ट मंथ 3 or report about the Indian Army developing cryptographic technology to make network resilient to the tech system by the quantum capability. Army has collaborated with industry and academic to build the secure communication and cryptography application. The step built to the last year initiative to establish the quantum computing laboratory and the military engineering institute Maho, Madhya Pradesh. तो उसके related article है Chinese counter advanced expand to spectral technique cyber attack against the Indian digital infrastructure, which already faced to various attack of Chinese state response hacker. India depend on foreign, particular Chinese hardware and additional vulnerable. अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट पेज पे जो आइडियल के पेज है फंडिंग पीपुल सेविंग प्लान Feeding people, saving plants. The challenge today is develop technology that supply food and nutrition need of the world while also that addressing climate change in poverty. October 16, ISA celebrate the World Food Day, announced the World and the Foundation Day of Food and Agriculture Organization FAO on the United Nations, which was set up the 1954. 45, the World War II left survival national badly breached and devastated. The fear of the hunger and looming the lynch national through the establishing the FAO with a global vision to ensure the enough food is produced to feed the increasing population. The global population at the time at the latest less than the 2.5 billion and increasing annually rate of the 1.9% per annum. Today there is almost 8 billion people in this planet and there is ample food of the feed them if they have money to buy the across to food of the affordable price. However, the remaining the challenge for the sustainable segment for humanity which lead to the malnutrition. While agriculture get to survive, implicate charges also be lead on 28% of the global greenhouse gas GHG emission, those the contribution to global warming. So it is time to invest not only the climate adaptation strategy but also relook to our policy that can mitigation GHG emission for agriculture. The net zero carbon target seems to the ambitious one and through a bit late, it can be severely human well and similarly implication that this planet can still feed more than the 10 billion people. So उसके related article there. Court versus court. Supreme Court verdict on the GN Sai Baba case after the Bombay High Court ordered the right question. Acting opponent had test on the Saturday and dealing with the convicted region who is the served excess of 7 years and have to acquit to Bombay High Court with well written and executed order. Supreme Court has done the injustice in the GN Sai Baba one wondering what the threatening urges he was handled to this matter in the manner in which was done. तो उसके related ये article जाइए. Faith, public health discontent, theoretical influence in the state policy have been the determine the people well-being. The recent overrouting the over issue of wide ruling and which decriminalization abortion of the USA in 1973 a setback to those who believe in women's rights is also the serious threat to public health in the country and ruling was the proposed to the conservative judges in Supreme Court. USA Supreme Court, however, the historical of criminalization of abortion in India, most Europeans speak the hegemony of the church in the such matter. तो उसके related article दिए. अब चलते हैं next page पे जो world की है. As the Xi Jinping repeat the right to use force, Taiwan return fire, no compromise on freedom. In his speech, Xi Jinping warned against the foreign interference. Taiwan say Beijing must focus on its people. In Xi Jinping's speech, price for Mars more than the market. उसके related article there. Zhang marks the fast appearance in the claim of sexual assault. After the next articles पे 11 killed in shooting at Russia's training base near the Ukraine. Moscow blamed the Kiev for the rocket attack at the Donbass. Iran prevention fire kills 4 as a protest rage. Trust struggling to survive. Bookie or favor to Sunak come back as PM. British Prime Minister Liz Truss, just over a month into the job, already seen to the increasingly unlikely to ride to the turbulence with their own Conservative Party and the financial market with her performance leadership rival Rishi Sunak to on flavor to come back and dash Downing Street. After the next article, Turkey denied to involve gives dozen of the naked migrant found at the border. After the next page पे Next page explain कि off down Xi Jinping fingerprint watching the CCP leader emerge. About the 2,300 delegates have the gathered in the Beijing for the 20th National Congress of the Chinese Communist Party (CPC). The beginning to Sunday and the agenda of selection of new Central Committee and current Central Committee was full to 205 full members and the 171 alternative member to fill vacancy in case of death. Out of these, 25 members headed by the General Secretary President Xi Jinping make to all Politburo TV and power each further centralizing in 7-member Politburo Standing Committee PSC which oversees all the significant policy decision agreement. To create the article they are functioning with the CCP. सी जिनपिंग कोalition and other appointment. तो उसके रिलेटेड ये पूरा आर्टिकल है। अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट। चाइना's wolf warrior diplomacy. Through the aggressive diplomacy, China say it protecting its interests and giving it to for tart response to West under the President Xi Jinping, who is likely to appoint the party leader for the third term at the ongoing National Congress of the Chinese Communist Party. China has taken to tough approach to international delegation, employing the style that they come back to known and wolf warrior diplomacy. चलते नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल्स पे। मीट एंड मिल्क फॉर प्लानेट। देयर इज फ्लुएंट सेलिब्रिटी इंटरेस्ट इन प्लानेट बेस्ड मीट एंड डेयरी which is mock meat, and how big is the market for this product and what appear to be the outlook for this segment in India. Last week, meat and seafood retail the Lilius fortress into the marketing mock children and mutton under the Uncrave brand. Also, the cricketer MS Dhoni pick up the and clutch quite stake in planet-based meat startup the Sakahari, and the California-based Beyond the Meat and the global planner or the segment the partner with the Indian biggest buffalo meat export Alekna Group to sell the product in the country. Actor couple Ritesh and Janelle Deshmukh is found to planet-based Imagine Mart in September 21 and February this year. The other alternative protein startup Blue Tribe Group through the former Indian captain Virat Kohli and his wife Anushka Sharma as investor and brand investor. तो उसके रिलेटेड आर्टिकल ये है। Biden on Pak nuke cohesion worry may be political and security chaos. US President Joe Biden cut off the cuff remarked that he thinks Pakistan as maybe the one of the most dangerous nation in the world. He particularly created the off-road reserve perhaps the most America dependent nation in South Asia region. तो उसके रिलेटेड आर्टिकल दी गया। अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट पेज पे जो इकोनॉमी की है। डीबीओ टू फर्दर एग्जीक्यूट डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर से आरबीआई गवर्नर डिजिटल यूनिट टू इंश्योर द एक्सेस टू डिजिटल मार्केट इन द सेंट्रल रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया गवर्नर शक्तिकांत दास संडे on establish the digital market unit. Digital banking unit will further augment the digital infrastructure in country and improve the customer experience in the doing banking transaction. तो उसके रिलेटेड आर्टिकल दिया है। PM Modi dedicated the digital banking unit to nation. What service will provide? The Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday dedicated 75 digital banking unit to the nation, taking the forward announcement that is made in the 2022-2023 Union Budget by the Finance Minister Silvanathan speaking virtual to event on Sunday. Modi, the digital banking will further the financial inclusion and significantly improve the banking experience for the citizen. तो उसके रिलेटेड ये आर्टिकल दिया गया। अब इसे सेल्फ नॉलेज से पढ़ सकते हैं। इंडियन ट्रैवल टू यूरोपियन कुल वी सून मेक पेमेंट थ्रू द यूपीआई मोड policy in India to ensure the airlines maintain the 4-5 months of cash reserve, say the CIIE study. Draft telecom bill try for dial PM over the dilution of power. Also the right to Department of Telecommunication opposing the certain clauses of new bill. Investor earn less than the fund across the asset classes and time frame. 3 OPEC plus member states come together to endorse the production cost after the US origin claim. अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट पेज पे। नेक्स्ट पेज स्पोर्ट की है तो द इंडियन एक्सप्रेस न्यूज एनालिसिस पे आज के लिए इतना ही।